What's good, folks? Post-workout, and I survived a 2-hour leg day.
MGK on the beats.
I hope everyone is having a good day. It's the end of the day for me. It's about 4:30. 4:30, yeah, about 4:30 p.m. Memorial Day. Just because it's a holiday doesn't mean your boy skips out on training. This is one of the most important training days of the week. Heavy leg day, heavy squats, heavy leg presses, step ups, the whole nine. Everything it takes to build a decent set of wheels. Title of this video, and it is obviously not fitness related, but not every video that I make has to be fitness related. Keep in mind, the name of my channel is The Muscle Lifestyle. I love talking about stuff that I feel everybody can relate to. And not everybody who watches my channel may be into fitness. Some people just like to hear about real life situations, honesty, things of that nature. So I felt the need to get on camera and talk about this subject that may be kind of touchy to some people, that might be a little personal, but you know, why beat around the bush? This is something that's serious. This is something that goes on in everyday life. And this is also something that men and women around the world struggle with. That being said, today we're going to talk about pornography. And about pornography, why you shouldn't engage in it. What it does to you. Why is it dangerous? Okay. And the reason I'm talking about this, guys, girls, is because I myself struggle with pornography, in my 20s, I'll say. And I guess we can go all the way back to, let me see, about 10 or 11 years old. So if you don't mind, I'm going to tell you guys a story, and then I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't engage in pornography. I was about 10. I had friends in my neighborhood, my old neighborhood. The neighborhood that you guys saw a couple videos ago, okay? I had a friend by the name of Jermaine. And I remember one day, we would joke around, play in the neighborhood, basketball, all of those things, And I'm pretty sure I was about 10 or 11. One day, I remember going over to his house. His mom wasn't there. It was just him and his two other sisters. He had two older sisters. I guess they were about around that time, maybe 13 and 14. I don't know. But they were older than us. And, they thought, well, he knew. They thought it would be funny to lock us in a room and, not knowing what was next. They locked us in this room, and on the VCR, because at the time there was no DVD, or VHS, we'll call it, and it was, pornography video playing on that television set. Mind you, before that, I had never seen sexual activity in my, ever. Never seen it a day in my life until that day. Never seen a female body part. Never seen it. Just, it was a complete shock to me at that point. And to this day, I'm 31. I can remember, what I saw. I remember what the man looked like. I remember what the female looked like. And I just never forgot it to that day. They thought it would be funny. You know, they thought it was funny. Jermaine's sisters. So, after leaving, I constantly thought about it. All the time. That video of that act that I saw. All the time. Later that year, I believe I was around the same age, I was visiting my grandmother in Alabama. And her son, which is my uncle, who was a piece of work, by the way, real piece of work, was living with her at the time. And he would have pornography, Hustler magazines, stuff like that under his bed and under his dresser. Ask me how I know. Being a 10-year-old boy, I was very nosy. What kid isn't around that age? But what do you hope to find when you're stumbling around in a room? Because I would spend a lot of time in his room because he had a Sega Genesis. And I would always play the Sega Genesis, and for some reason, I don't know, I was just being nosy. And I ended up finding the Hustler magazines, okay? And I would go over there and look at the magazines and get aroused, you know, by what I saw. And it got to the point where I would tear pages out of that magazine and I would put them in places that they couldn't find them. So every time I would come over there, I would be able to find, you know, those pictures of those girls that I saw. And eventually, you know, a very long time ahead, I mean like maybe 4 to 6 months maybe, my mom found out about it. And I have a younger sister too, and I showed her the pictures that I found. She found out about it. I don't know how she found out. But my stepfather gave me and my sister the worst butt whooping I had ever received in my life. I'll never forget that. The belt that he used to do it had his initial on it. Oh my gosh, we got brutalized like bad. But and then, you know, ever since that day, you know, my uncle stored his porn a lot safer, we'll say. You know, after that, oh my gosh, I went on a vacation with my family. I think I was about 12 years old at this point, 12 or 13 years old. I went on vacation to see some relatives at a family reunion. I have a cousin who came back home with us to spend the summer. Packs of pornography videos. And then we would, you know, watch them while my grandparents were asleep. Just sitting there very intrigued. Both of us, you know, barely teenage boys watching porn. Hardcore porn. I had another friend in the neighborhood as well, named Dominique. And his father, this was probably the worst of all. His father, he lived with his dad. I think his mom passed away or something. His dad had it was like a gym bag full of pornography. Full of pornography. And he would pick them out one at a time. He would give one to me, and I would take it home, watch it. I would have to bring it back to him before his dad came home, or he would notice it was gone. at that point in my life, I had an addiction. It was a horrible addiction to pornography. It made me think about sex all the time. It made me want to have sex all the time. And I could think about nothing else in my life. Like when I look at a girl or I look at a woman, that's what I thought about. Because I was exposed to pornography at a premature age, very young age. You could almost say that my childhood was pretty much, or my innocence was taken from me because of the experiences that I had. And because of that, I struggled with pornography all throughout, from about age 15 to 20 to about 26. I struggled with pornography. 27, age, 26. It's up to about 26. And after my 26th birthday, a couple months later, I got saved. That's when I became a Christian, came to Christ. And I have not watched pornography since, ever. It never even crossed my mind. Just the thought of it, makes me sick. Just thinking about it. I even, thinking about the past makes me feel sick. The fact that I would watch that, it just didn't sit right with me. Even though it's the past. What we do in the past has nothing to do with the present. Okay? Now, all of those instances that I was able to watch pornography was because adults, the adults of the places in which we watched them, had them in their possession. That's the problem. Okay, that was the number one problem. They brought it into the sanctuary of the home where children were, thinking that there's no way in the world that kids would ever get a hold of it. When this happens all the time, we always hear about instances where kids shoot themselves or shoot somebody because they got a hold of a gun that was in the home, all because they knew where it was. And it happens. The same goes with pornography. It's in the home. If it's in the home, I have to say there's a 50 to 75% chance that a child is going to come across it, because every single time I ever was able to have access to pornography, it was because I stumbled upon it. It was some irresponsible adult in the home, who had it, and a child was able to get it and shared it with their friends. Okay? Now, the home I grew up in, I was raised by my grandparents. And we didn't even have cable growing up. So HBO wasn't a problem. Cinemax wasn't a problem. So pornography wasn't a problem. I mean, my grandparents are old. It was just not a possibility. But because I was able to go out and about to friends' homes, that window of error was there, and because I fell into it, I ended up, becoming an addict because of it. One of the biggest reasons I don't condone pornography is because it can really ruin a person. It can ruin a person. It can destroy the way that you are supposed to view sex, because pornography is actually degrading what is supposed to be something sacred, something beautiful, something that you're only supposed to share with somebody that you really, really love, your husband, your wife. It's a moment of intimacy that can't really be put into words. It's supposed to be something that that's supposed to be in the sanctuary of your home, in private, and it's between you and somebody you love with all of your heart. It is the absolute best way to express your love with your partner. But pornography takes that and pretty much twists it for the sake of getting off, for the sake of making money. You know, something that was supposed to be sacred has been tricked out, pretty much. It's been tricked out, and by it being tricked out, it destroys the minds and sensitivity of men and women all around the world. It, like I said, it makes you feel a certain way, you know, against the opposite sex. It's very hard to respect women and men when you watch pornography all the time, because the only thing that's going to be on your mind is sex all the time if that's what you do. Like I said, that's just a few things that's just a few reasons why I believe you shouldn't watch it. Another reason is it pretty much ruins potency. You know, I mean, let's keep it real. People who watch pornography, you know, they're not just sitting there watching it with popcorn. Okay? We all know what goes on when you watch pornography. And when you partake in that multiple times, time after time after time after time, you lose potency. You do. And if you ever just so happen to meet that person in which you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you get married, you won't be sensitive to the act because of the abuse that you know partook in with the pornography. It happens. You can do your research. It's out there. People will tell you, you know, who do it all the time. They are unable to really get excited, because there's really nothing to get excited about, because you've pretty much destroyed your sensitivity to sex because you indulged yourself into pornography, you know. And I know, like I said, this is a subject that is extremely touchy, but it's a real problem. It's a real issue with people. And I just want to encourage people to stop watching pornography, because as a person, like I said, I've been there. I know. Take it from me. It will ruin your life. It will destroy everything. And a lot of people don't think it will, because it's all good when they're watching it. It's all good when they're getting what they want from it. But when you watch it, what is it exactly you're looking for? Because I believe everybody is looking for something who watches it. For me, like I said, I can talk about this because I've been there. For me, it was like I was looking for completion, looking for happiness. I was looking for comfort. You know, I was looking for love, in other words. But you know what they say, sometimes you can be searching for love in all the wrong places. And a lot of people feel a sense of comfort and a sense of satisfaction, obviously, when they watch it. But pornography is one of those things that is just too good to be true. You know, there are downsides. It's you know, until you get away from it, that's the only time you really understand everything that I'm saying right now. Because if you're somebody that's engulfed in it right now as we speak, everything I'm saying to you right now is probably going to be white noise, and it's probably going to be, you know, it's going to sound like nonsense. But like I said, the only reason that I'm talking about it is I feel like I'm qualified to talk about it, because I told you, you know, I've been exposed to pornography since the age of 10 and all the way up to 26. So that's a very long time to watch it. And you could just imagine what, you know, the psychological damage that was done to me as a child. You can just imagine. It really did a number on me. And for me, I have 3 boys, and I try extremely hard to protect them. My oldest son, he gets irritated with me sometimes because I won't allow him to go over to friend's house. I'm not saying I won't allow him to play with children, but I won't let him go over to someone's home. Like, there's no sleepovers, there's none of that. If he wants to have a sleepover or have somebody play, they're more than welcome to come over to my home. Because in my home, there's no pornography, there's no bad channels, there's nothing. It's a sanctuary because we have small kids, and I care about the future of my children. I care about their mindset. I want to try my best to keep them as innocent as I possibly can. And the reasons I don't let my son go over the houses of others, I don't know what type of parents, these kids have. I don't know, the mentality that they have. I don't know their beliefs. I don't know what they have in their home. And I don't want to risk him falling into the traps that I fell into. I don't know if those kids have older siblings who may find it funny to lock my son into a room and play a DVD of pornography. I don't know. So I don't take that chance because I know that there's always that potential. There's always that potential because I endured it. I saw it with my own eyes. I went through it. And in this world, you have to shield your kids, because if you don't shield them, it's so easy for things like pornography, evilness to creep into their lives. Because if it can creep into my life at age 10, my son, he's 10. He's 10. And he's never seen anything like that. Ever. He's so innocent right now. So innocent. And I don't want him to lose that. And struggle like I did as a teenager. Because these days, teen pregnancy is something that's freaking regular now because of the sex and everything that's being displayed. My goal is to try to get people, to live to the best of their potential and not be held down by anything. Pornography can hold you down if you're not careful. It can definitely pull you out of your roots. And I don't believe that no one deserves it. No child deserves it. Porn isn't something that I stumbled upon as a teenager. It fell on me as a kid. And it falls on a lot of kids. And it can alternate your childhood extremely. It ruined me. I wasn't focused on school, academics, nothing. Just sex. All because of what I was exposed to. Now I hope that I didn't make anybody cringe up. I just thought I would give a personal little testimony as somebody who has overcome pornography. And if anybody's watching this, I want to let you know that you can too. Put it in the hands of God, and He'll deliver you from it. And that's just the God honest truth. I could never have done it if I had not put it in the hands of God. He delivered me from it, and there are thousands of people in the world who will attest to the same thing, that you can fight pornography. You don't have to be a slave to it, and that you are worth so much more, than that. Take care of your body and preserve it for somebody who will appreciate you for you, and somebody you'll spend the rest of your life with. Be sure to like this video, comment down below any content that you guys would like to see, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.